Hey there, real viewers. Boy, have you picked a good one today. We're counting down the top 10 worst DC animated movies. Stay tuned. Oh, well, it's about time. Welcome to Real Reviews, where we take a look at major Hollywood releases and let you know if they're worth your time, money, and patience. I'm your host, Walter Bernasiak. Since the early 90s, Warner Brothers Animation has been producing top-quality superhero films for DC Comics. However, not all of them are as fantastic as Justice League Gods and Monsters or Batman Under the Red Hood. Some just innocently miss the mark, and others are just bad. Just plain bad. If you'd like to see our top 10 DC animated movies, click the link in the description below. But today, I'm counting down the 10 worst DC animated movies. Keep in mind, some of these films actually aren't terrible, but with how high Warner Brothers have set the bar, these are the ones that pale in comparison. Before we get started, let me once again be clear, we are only counting the animated feature films that have been released as such on home video or in theaters. No episode compilations that were rebranded as movies later, and they have to be from Warner Brothers Animation. Also, no, I'm still not counting the DC Lego movies. Okay, let's start off with number 10. Batman Unlimited, Monster Mayhem. This is the most recently released DC animated movie upon this video's posting, and it really isn't that bad. But with so many tip-top films in DC's animated film library, this one just barely got onto the list. The Joker is aided in his Halloween quest to render modern technology useless and take over Gotham City by Solomon Grundy, Silver Banshee, Clayface, and Scarecrow. This is a decent Joker story, and Troy Baker did a great job voicing him. We see Cyborg, Green Arrow, Red Robin, Nightwing, and Batman team up to stop Joker and his accomplices. Kids may enjoy this one more, but it just doesn't match up well when compared to other projects DC and WB Animation have pumped out. It's really not a bad watch, and there are some cool scenes, but there are many more much better DC animated films to check out. Number 9. Batman Gotham Knight. They tried to give Christopher Nolan's Batman the Animatrix treatment, and this just didn't work out very well, despite its enticing premise. A collection of key events as short stories from varying points of view mark Bruce Wayne's life as he journeys from Batman Beginner to The Dark Knight. Set in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, Gotham Knight attempts to add to Batman's mythos and expand Nolan's Batverse. A couple of the stories were entertaining and interesting, but most of them were dull and unappealing to look at. There are some cool ideas here, though. Seeing how regular people interpret Batman is really fascinating. Plus, they have Kevin Conroy voicing the Caped Crusader himself, so that's always a mega plus. Gotham Knight just doesn't do much to add to the great films Christopher Nolan put together, and Batman should not be boring, which this is at most points. If you like it, I understand, but it's one of my least favorites. Number 8. Superman Unbound. This one just felt like an obligatory animated movie that DC had to put out. Superman Brainiac, the comic it's based on, is a well-known modern Brainiac tale, but this does not live up to its paper partner. Superman and Supergirl take on the cybernetic Brainiac, who boasts that he possesses the knowledge and strength of 10,000 worlds. Superman Unbound is pretty forgettable and bland. The idea of reintroducing Brainiac in this way was a unique idea, but its execution isn't the best. The animation feels kind of off, and besides a few semi-exciting moments, this one just never got rolling. It's harmless, but is subpar for DC's animation standards. There are worse, however, this lived up to the name, super bland. Number 7. Batman Assault on Arkham. Yeah, I know. People like this one. I get it. That's fine. It has all the ingredients to make something great, but when you think about it, was it really that good? Batman works desperately to find a bomb planted by the Joker while Amanda Waller hires her newly formed Suicide Squad to break into Arkham Asylum to recover vital information stolen by the Riddler. The Arkham Asylum games, the Suicide Squad, Kevin Conroy, these should equal something amazing, right? Well, I don't think they do. Credit where credit is due, though. Pulling off a Suicide Squad animated movie could not have been easy, even under the guise of a Batman movie. The tone of this one was pretty brutal, rightfully so for the Suicide Squad, but it goes so far down that road that it becomes off-putting. I think the Justice League Unlimited episode, Task Force X, is a better Suicide Squad story than this film. I just think with a few exceptions, this narrative didn't make me feel sympathetic to any of the villains. I know it's not supposed to do that with all of them, but I didn't even care for Deadshot too much, and Harley Quinn misses the mark a bit in this adaptation. If it's your thing, that's cool, but it's not mine, and it is number 7 on this list. Number 6, AllStar Superman. Based on the Grant Morrison classic 12-issue comic book run, AllStar Superman is an interesting story. After being poisoned by sun radiation, a dying Superman decides to fulfill his lifelong dreams while Lex Luthor has his own agenda. Some of my problem with this film may be the source material itself. While I do like a portion of Grant Morrison's work, a lot of it I could just never get into. The film reflects the book's art style pretty closely, which I wasn't a fan of. It had to leave a lot out, but still is considered a faithful adaptation of the comic. It's just too weird for me. The basic premise is a really intriguing route to take, and maybe with another story surrounding it, I would have really liked it, but as is, I couldn't buy into its eccentricities, and it failed to connect with me. It's also one of the most daunting DC animated films to get through. Not my thing, but I know it's decently popular, so if you like it, tell me why in the comments below. Number 5, Jala Adventures, Trapped in Time. This movie plays out like a strange modern episode of Super Friends, complete with made-up characters and a super campy tone. That may sound kind of awesome, but it's definitely not. Lex Luthor is frozen during a battle with the Justice League. He thaws out in the 31st century, discovers Time Trapper, and prevents Superman's arrival to Earth as a baby. Future teen heroes Karate Kid and Dawnstar must stop him. This is from a different production team than the folks who make the DC Universe animated original movies, and it's aimed at a younger audience. However, that is not an excuse for bad writing, eye-rolling dialogue, out-of-place new characters, and an overall lame movie. Show your kids the good stuff, not this watered-down attempt at a Justice League movie. They'll thank you for it, and you'll both enjoy something better. Number 4, Teen Titans, Trouble in Tokyo. I'm not a huge fan of the original Teen Titans cartoon. After a battle with a high-tech villain named Psychotech, the Teen Titans travel to the city of Tokyo where they find themselves embroiled in a conflict with an ancient enemy. There isn't much to say about this. I just don't like the tone, animation, style, or much of anything about this movie. Although I do know the Teen Titans show was at least better than this. The story was lame and very predictable, and I just don't like it. There are a lot of Teen Titan fans out there, so I know they're doing something right. It's just something I never got into. Number 3, Batman Unlimited, Animal Instincts. Animal Instincts is something new and came out a few months before its sequel, Monster Mayhem. It's a more Bat family-oriented look at the world of Gotham, but it's just really boring. Batman, with the help of the Flash, Green Arrow, Nightwing, and Red Robin, has to try to get to the bottom of the mysterious robotic animals attacking Gotham. I'm going to be honest, I was dozing off pretty hard during this movie. It was that boring. The character models and name are based on Mattel's toy line. This explains the many costume changes during the movie. It's basically just a big commercial for these toys. The plot's very out there and just not fun. These versions of our heroes are geared towards younger viewers, but not in a smart way. It felt like they were trying too hard to cater to those kids. The one saving grace is Will Friedle voicing Nightwing. Bring back memories of Batman Beyond was the only thing that kept my attention. Skip this one, folks. Number 2, Batman, Mystery of the Batwoman. This movie is especially embarrassing because it involved most of the people, excluding Bruce Timm, responsible for Batman the Animated Series. And this thing is no good at all. The Dark Knight must contend with a mysterious female vigilante who emulates him, but to a more ruthless degree. This should have never been made. It's all wrong. I can't believe Kevin Conroy's talents were wasted on such a piece of trash. Without the guidance of Bruce Timm, his team fell off the rails with this movie. It does just about everything wrong that the animated series did right. The animation is very bright and cheery. Bruce Wayne is made out to be a goofy fool who isn't intimidating at all, and the whole Batwoman thing was a phoned-in mystery story. This thing just should never have been. Do not watch it. It can never taint the animated series or other Timm-produced DC shows, but it tries pretty hard. And my number one worst DC animated movie is Batman vs. Dracula. I heavily dislike almost everything about this movie. Like, pretty close to everything. Batman faces off against the original creature of the night, Count Dracula, who has been unintentionally resurrected by the Penguin. This is a spin-off movie from The Batman Show that aired from 2004 to 2008. Really didn't like that show either. The Joker with dreads? Yeah, no thanks. Plus that incessant guitar cue. It's so annoying. Stop it! Not a fan of the animation. Not a fan of the story. Not a fan of this Dracula, the dialogue, or how tedious and slow moving it is. I just really don't like it. This version of Batman is stupid, and this movie is more stupid. If you're a fan of the Batman cartoon or this movie, I want to hear what was so good about it in the comments below, because personally, I couldn't stand it. So, what did you think? Don't kill me. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with my choices, but tell me your favorite or least favorite DC animated movies in the comments below. Let's discuss. Be on the lookout for more Top 10s, episodes of Real Reviews, and new editions of our competitive argument show, Real Debates, coming soon. Be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment on, and share this video. Remember, if it's not reviewed here, it just isn't real. I'm Walter Bernasiak, and I will see you at the movies.